All right, what's up, guys? So, just got back from Feel Good Gaming's Tribe Dustshoot tournament. It's actually the second Dustshoot tournament they have. The very first one was for Dustshoot where we all split, but this time, we just played it out, and I finally managed to win one of these. I think I've gotten top eight and lost in top eight like 4 or 5 times already, but I always just lose early and then just grind it out. But I always lose in top eight, and this time I just managed to go all the way with the pretty unique deck, and just very happy to take it home for the boys. Got the nice champion mat. Prize, first place, super dust shoot. Probably just gonna put it in the fairy deck. So yeah, I played fairies. It's kind of different, and I will definitely go into the card choices I made as well as the matchups and why the choices I made got me to where I got. So I guess we'll start with the deck. So we started with, of course, it's fairies, 3 Christia. And some people play 2. I don't get it. This is like the best card in Edison. It just locks out like every deck. The decks that doesn't lock out, it's still this huge 2800 body that floats around. They can never get rid of it. I would never cut this out. And then 3 Shiny Angel, and then 2 Nova Summoner for the recruiters. So the deck has a lot of normal summons. I would probably want to play 3 of this, but it's just, again, too many normal summons. I had to make a cut. So the idea with the 5 is that as long as you draw less than 3 with Christia, you can still, do all your crashing, get 4 engrave, get Lady, Banisher, do, and then main phase 2 drop Christia. If you draw 3, then obviously you can't do that because you only have 2 left in deck. But like that's really unlikely with just 5. Like if it's a 5 of, if you think of it as like just a generic 5 of, drawing 3 of it, it's pretty unlikely. So this was fine. I always saw it, and I never drew too many. And then 3 orange lights, the 1 ultimate, of course. This card's just insane. You just dictate the pace of the game. Yeah, it's also a tuner, which is very relevant with the cards I play. 2 honests, because it's light deck, you attack over stuff. The fact that they think that they can just run over your recruiters and then you drop this is just insane. And your deck is so sticky. 2 Dimensional Alchemist is a very good card, but again, with the version I was playing, a lot of normal summons, had to make some necessary cuts, and this is one of them. But this card is really good. The fact that it doesn't stick around is kind of annoying. So like even if it floats, you really want to keep your field present so the other floaters are a little bit better. 3 DD Warrior Lady. I could not cut this down. This is the best removal. It's honestable. Just gets rid of anything. Yeah, I was never cutting this. It makes Alchemist live. And then the literal star of the show was DD Crow. This card is just nuts. I main deck 3. Main deck 3 DD Crow. Everyone's like, why? And like, I mean, this card is just insane. So you can, so this is, I believe play Chaos Sorcerer. So I guess you can call it Chaos Fairy, even though it's just 1 sword. But this card is really good because it lets you stop all the big power plays in Edison. So if you think about all the good power plays, like Blizzard and Blackwing, Vayu's Effect and Vayu Turbo, Plague and Vayu Turbo, I guess Malicious maybe, Hero Blast in Heroes, Miracle Fusion in Heroes, Treeborn Frog in Frogs, which I'll talk about a little bit more. All the big plays revolve around the grave, and if you can control the grave with Crow while controlling the field with your fairies and eventually Christia, then you're just gonna win. And people don't see this coming, and it's just like, it's very hard. You can't read it, right? Like I searched it once actually, but without saying it, but I mean, you don't see in my hand that you're not gonna know I had this. So this card is really insane, and I'll talk about this with Frog. So people were like, oh, you don't want to just like, if they summon Swap Frog, you just DD Crow or Treeborn, they're summoning another one, and that is true, yes, but people forget about the tempo that exists in Edison and why that's important, and that's why we have 8,000 life points. So if you go turn 1, let's say you normal summon like a guy, any guy, like Lady or like a recruiter. They go Swap Frog, send Treeborn, bounce, whatever. Next turn, you just drop a second dude. Let's say you attack, and it's all good. And then you go to DD Crow, their monster, in standby phase. Knowingly taking that neg 1L, I guess. They go to summon Swap Frog again. Summon the second Treeborn. Even if you don't have the second DD Crow, you can next turn summon another dude and threaten more damage which is already like you're already putting them in a very, very lethal range. Almost too low to use brain control sometimes, depending on what you're attacking with. And even if they, let's say next turn they summon Frog, you attack again or something. They summon the Frog, you don't have a second Crow. They Caius the guy, which is all good. You still will have at minimum 1 to 2 recruiters depending on your hand, and they're not going to be able to get rid of 2 dudes with 1 Caius play. So taking the neg 1 against Frog to make your board presence bigger and put him in like very close to lethal range, I think that's fine. I would do that any day of the week. So yeah, it was insane all day. Just so clutch. Never sided one out, like ever, I don't think. And then, so here's the dark version of fairies. We played 3 Kais. This card is just like everything fairies needed. It's just removal. I mean, you're not getting a +1 if you tribute a recruiter, but that doesn't really matter because, again, tempo, you clear the threats. You can just, is literally just like the problems that fairies has, which on, like the stuff that like, sometimes they have like multiple dudes. Like let's say they go Greffer, Armwing, and you have a floater that attack it twice. You don't want to go into the DD Warrior Lady because then you can't clear 2 threats. But if you have Caius, you can Caius the Greffer or the Armwing or whatever, and then attack over the other one, and you've cleared a bit like a 2 monster board with just Caius Recruiter. So this was very important. This change, I used to not play this. This is good. This is a good change. And I sided one out a lot because sometimes they can be dead going, not great going second, but I always like kept at least like 2 in my deck. Sangan, you tribute off Caius, you just get crazy pluses. You can also search like Crow and Herald, so this was really good. And then for the other flex spots, Trooper, which helps you mill fairies. The 1 Battle Fader, I just played the 1 because it's searchable off Sangan, which is cool. So against a really aggressive deck, you're just like, oh, they're going for game, tag Sangan, I'm just going to search for this, even though I've already used Gores or whatever. And then, or you milled it off a Trooper or something. Just a good clutch one of, I don't ever want to have more than 1, so I just played the 1. You can get off Dimensional Alchemist, so that's pretty cool as well. And then Troopers was really strong. Some people were on and off about this. I get it. You know, sometimes you don't want to mill out if you have like 2 or 3 fairies. Sometimes it just gets you there. It just mills the right amount. Drop Christia is just broken. It's just floater. Attacks over. Very important that like attacks over like Stratos and Alias and stuff. Greffer, like, yeah, just really good. Just gets like +1s. And then, really, really strong card. So, and then Trag or Gores and Trag. It's a high monster count deck. They're darks for the best man on the planet right now, Chaos Sorcerer. Didn't really drop him all day except for the finals, where he came in clutch game 1. I came back from 3 Recklesses because of this guy. I milled a lot, and he was just there. Top decked him, so it was really nice. So unfortunately, he's not at more than 1, but you know we have a lot of boss monsters still. So yeah, this deck is good. 30 monsters, there's a lot of monsters. 6 spells, it's just the broken ones basically. So these are like the one-ofs. It's a high dark count deck, so you can play this. Obvious, insane card. And then Mind Control, I mean, you play 3 Herald, the deck has a hard time dealing with Hamster Raikou, so you just have to do that. So in order to mitigate that, I actually played another card to deal with Hamster Raikou. Main deck the 1 knock. So Zach, who invented like a version of this, main deck 2, and it's pretty good. You know, honestly, like I couldn't find room for 2, but I would. The 1 is perfect. So obviously you side out a lot in like different matchups, but you really like want to hedge against the Vayu matchup, which is really common nowadays, with 4 of them being in top 8 at Raleigh. So yeah, this was good. Might seem a little weird, but you know, just meta call basically. And then 4 traps. So Dustshoot, the best trap card. Call, this can get Christia, and if they MST, you can chain it on Sangat or Trooper, or you just chain it on Christia to get it on top of your deck. torrential because you're playing cards like Trooper and Sangant. It's kind of annoying because you don't want to use torrential like when it's floaters, but you can just tag in the Dimensional Alchemist and then you can torrential that and get a plus there. And then one Decree. So some favorite decks play 2. It's a really good card, but again, like it's good against Vayu, but it's not so good against some matchups. I kind of miss the second one sometimes, but this tournament the one was perfect. It just kind of gives you like MST, heavy, Decree. Like you just have like 3 ways to like kill back row. So it was really nice. So that was the main deck. The side deck was 1 Consecrated Light. This card's good. However, they can still DDV, like Soroko DDVs under this. But against Vayu and Blackwing, it's just really good. So you can tag into it. That's why I played the 1, but I would not play more than 1 because it can get kind of clunky. 2 Oppression for any high roll decks. You just kind of have to. Christia just isn't enough. You just have to stop them. The second Knock, very good against Vayu, Lightsworns, like Flambeau, Gravekeepers, if that's the thing. Yeah, your deck has a hard time dealing with like flip monsters that are bigger than the recruiters. 2 Bottomless. This was insane. I almost wanted a main 1 or 2. Just really good trap card. And they see that you don't play that many traps, they don't see that coming. The second Decree, very good. Stops DDV, very important. Stops the big trap decks. Yeah. And then 2 Cyber Dragon. Machina. I made it like 6k more Chimera Tech against Morphtronics. That was good. Also attacking over like GBs and heroes and stuff. With Honest too, very good card. 2 Pulling the Rug for Monarch, Hero Frog, quick draw, a lot of Diva Hero Beat. Yeah, really good card. 2 My Body. This was kind of mid. It was for like Blackwing and Heroes, which I didn't even really put it in. This probably should have been like 1 breaker for more DDV outs. I think the 1 is fine, but 2 is a little much. It's a lot of life to pay. And then Soul Release. This card is nuts. I did a pretty sick play with this in one of the rounds, which I'll go over. But yeah, for like Lightsworn, the Mirror Match, if you play it, just control their grave while you get the ability to control yours as well, which is really powerful. And the extra deck is really bad. It was 13 cards, which honestly, like, if we're just being real, there's just no real reason for 13. You should probably just play 15, which probably, like, I don't have Avenging Knight, Parshath, and Ancient Sacred Wyvern, which probably should be in there. Or Flambeau Uruquizes. This card, you can't even make it. But realistically, like, this is the best one. You use this to control your grave and bounce their stuff. I made this once. I made this in the finals, which is really clutch to clear field with Sork and Herald, and I made this as generic, but this obviously comes up. Oh, and I made this, of course, against Morphtronics. So, yeah, maybe there could be 2 in here. Yeah, obviously the extra tag was bad. It's just kind of a meme at this point. So, just disregard this part, I guess. All right, so let's go into the matchups here. So, it was 59 players, 6 rounds of Swiss, top 8. So, round 1, I played against Chainburn, which was actually my deck. So I kind of knew what I was doing. So I got that 2-1. Decree came in really clutch game 1. Round 2 was Diva Hero Beat, which I misplayed horribly. I crashed an extra recruiter for no reason. Couldn't count. Lost game 1 because of that. And then I just got destroyed game 2. So that was not my proudest moment. Round 3 was Morphtronics. Got complete OTK game 1. Game 2, I got it. Game 3, I made... He goes like... machine dupe with the little dude, and then like has like 5 Morphtronics, and then I just go Cyber Dragon, make Chimera Attack, Summon Trooper, attack for 79, and then he was smashing. I'm like, okay, the Trooper dies because the Trooper has more defense because his Chimera Attack has 0 defense, so I just win there, which is kind of funny. Round 4 is Hero Frog. I lost game 1. I lost a lot of game 1s all day, and then I won game 2, and that match was weird. I think D.D. Crow came really clutch that time. But that's the same guy I played in top 8. Round 5 was Vayu Turbo. Oh, yeah. I remember now. The round 4, We were in like a game three. We were in like a weird like top decking situation. I had He had Ab Zero Alias, and all I had was DD War Lady with a brain control, and I drew pulling the rug. I'm like, shit, I can't clear the monsters, but I could do something. So I brain controlled the Ab Zero, summon Lady, attack, and then gave back the zero, setting the rug, and I tried to play it off as like, oh yeah, you know, if you summon Kai's, that'd be great. And he actually had a Kai. He summoned the Kai, so I got the rug to go off. My Lady dies because of zero, and then I top deck. It's honest. I'm really low, so I just set it. He passes. I draw a recruiter, attack with both, bounce with the honest. He's under like Branker. He's under like 800. Um, he goes soul exchange for evil hero malicious edge. And I'm like, yo, I need a light. I have honest but no light, and I draw DD Warley. That was a great way to end off round 4. Round 5 was a friend Adam. I won game 1 pretty quick. Game 2, I just kind of got valued, and then game 3, I opened triple Caius Consecrated Decree with something else. I go normal Consecrated set Decree. He goes set a monster, sets a back row Decree, and then I just go Tribute over the Consecrated for Caius because I saw someone rule that earlier, like the same situation. I'm like, yo, I can just do that. And even if he has like Greffer arm, he can't like push that hard unless he just has like crazy hand with like dad and everything too. So I just willingly kill my own Consecrated, banish this dude, and then I just keep summoning Kai's, banish, and then I just win. Round 6 was Hero Frog. Destroyed game 1. I got destroyed game 1. Game 2, I just win by grinding. Game 3, he goes set a monster, like set back rows. I'm like, okay, probably do Frog. I set, I think Trooper. He sets another monster, and then he has like 3 back row, and then I go. It gets to a point where I have a Trooper. I orange lighted a Substitute, so I have 2 fairies. I have Trooper, a Recruiter, and then I normal summon Herald to try to go for Mistworm. He lets it go with 3 back row. I'm like, cool. I make Mistworm. He immediately he's like, okay, I'm gonna chain the back rows. So he chains a Water Art, tributing one of the Dewfrogs set, and then he chains a Regeki Break to pop the Mistworm, and that bounces the other sets. And then he looks at my hand. It's double Christia, Soul Release, and another fairy. So he picks a Christia, and that puts me at 5, but I just Soul Release, taking my Christia and like 4 of his cards. So then drop the second one. It was just nuts. So we make top 8. We go X1 and Swiss. Top 8, I play the same guy. In round 4, I won game 1 for like the first time in like what seemed like forever. Lost game 2 to Smashing Ground. Game 3, it was like a technicality. We had to like replay the game because like he had forgotten cards in his banish pile. But I just grinded out, and his hand just wasn't great. I think at one point I had like 2 crows. I was saying I searched his 3rd crow because I felt like he had Miracle. He had like a bunch of heroes and waters, and he goes Miracle, and I double crow the 2 targets for the water, and then he just he just fizzles. He can't do anything. So I did a cool play with round 6 as well. The guy, I think game 2, he brain controlled my card trooper and tried to Miracle with the hero, and I crowed the hero target in grave, so he couldn't even banish the trooper and the hero. So that was pretty sick. So yeah, DD Crow coming in clutch. Top 4 was Diva Hero Beat. It was on stream. Honestly, the matchup is just really good. I made sure not to misplay, not to miscount like an idiot. And I just, did my standard stuff. Game 2 was crazy. Game 2, I got rid of all his aliases. I bought bottomless 2, and then crowed the 3rd when he tried to hero blast it from grave. I just crowed it, and then he had no alias left, but he had like snowman eaters and like a bunch of like monsters like mole, honest. I just couldn't deal with. So I was like setting cards, setting recruiters, trying to bluff him. At one point, I had set a DD Crow, a Nova Summoner, and a Dial, and I had Dial normal summon. He wasn't attacking the mole because we were both kind of low. I guess he wanted to preserve his mole. So I have Brain Control Cyber Dragon. So I'm like, his mole and face up honest, and I go, okay, just go for it because you got to use Gores. Brain Con the mole, Tribute the Bluff DD Crow set for Cyber Dragon, flip the Nova Summoner, use the Ox effect, bounce his own Honest, and then attack for game. So that was cool. Finals was like a crazy Vayu Turbo deck with like 3 Greffers, I think, like Mali Plague. It was just nuts. Game 1, he was like double reckless. I got heavied for like 2, and I was like, damn. But I just, he didn't have enough gas. Like he like did his whole thing, and then on Brio Armwing Greffer with a extra Vayu engrave. I have a Recruiter, which he bounced, and then I Honest, and then I top deck Chaos Sorcerer after milling like 15 cards by controlling a set Magical Merchant. Crazy. So I Chaos Sorcerer the Arm Wing, so he can't Vayu next turn. Summon the Herald, make darken the Brio. He's under Reckless, so he can't draw. Attack the Greffer, and then I just win from there. With game 2, I got DDV'd. Happens. Yeah. Game 3, he has like, this is like for the finals, like for the win. He has I Dustshoot him. I see he has Armageddon Knight, Sirocco, Vayu, Caius, Reckless. I take the Sirocco because I don't want him tribute. I don't have like immediate out to it. I don't want him like tributing over it. So he's Armageddon Knight, send Plague, I think, or no, so he sets Vayu, sets Reckless. I go flip my Trooper, which I set turn 1, attack over it, mill some dead cards. He goes Armageddon Knight, attack over Trooper. I go Recruiter into Armageddon Knight, some attack, and then he sets the damn Merchant again. I might control it, but then I immediately hit a Call to Haunted without milling the monsters, which I think I had like a Christia engraved from the Trooper, and I got attack, set 3, which probably shouldn't have. Probably should have kept the bottomless or something in my hand. He goes heavy for like, I'm like, damn. And then he chains Reckless. I chain Call on Christia to try to get it back, and he MSTs the Call. I'm like, damn. So that he has like 4 in hand. I'm like, yo, he's gonna push. But I have a freaking have a Crow for the Vayu Sirocco play. I know he has 2 Caius. He has 4 cards. So I Crow the Vayu, and he's not able to drop another special summon, and I just win because I have the Black Rose that I synchroned with the Flip Merchant and my Recruiter, and he just can't like summon any dudes. So we got there in the end. That was an insane tournament. I misplayed so hard round 2, but we just clawed back, and yeah, 59 players, good competition. I played okay, I obviously misplayed a little bit. I think it was enough to get the job done. Got the Dustshoot, did it with the Chaos Fairies, I guess, the Dark Fairies. But yeah, shout out to Feel Good Gaming, all the guys back home. Hope we will replicate success like this in the future. So, signing out.